Hi everyone, it's Capcan and today we're gonna look at Arms Warrior Talent Tree. The date is September 7th, 2022. If there are gonna be any changes with talent trees, and there probably will be some changes, then this video will be, of course, not 100% correct, but I think that they will probably not change everything that is in here. Therefore, we're gonna look for us, we're gonna see, we're gonna check every talent, look what's cool, what's not, and all the stuff like that. So now, there is our global Just Warrior tree, and there's our arms part here. We have 31 points here and 30 points here. Let's, I guess, read everything. To be work in progress, a balanced combat state that increases the critical strike chance of your abilities by 3% and reduces the effectiveness of movement impairing effects on you by 15%. So that's starting talent in the Warrior tree at this spec. Well, increases the critical chance and reduces the effectiveness of movement impairing effects on you, especially reducing the effectiveness of movements impairing effects. Pretty cool. Now, what do we have going after here? And we will see how much talents we actually can get in here. Don't judge my talent choices. It's not my final choices. I will just click it mostly randomly just to see how it works. So there's our rallying cry. Let's lose a rallying cry. Grants all party or raid members within 40 yards 15% temporary and maximum health for 10 seconds. Pretty cool, very, very good cooldown, which probably will be, probably people will pick it up most of the times. Defensive stance, work in progress, a defensive combat state that reduces all damage you take by 20% and all damage you deal by 10%, lasts until cancelled. So it will really be like stances as they should be, without it's not gonna be some temporary stuff. It will be you're choosing either this stance or that stance, and a defensive stance will probably be very, very cool if you're far away from the target and you need to survive some damage, especially some bursty damage. Minus 20% damage taken, cool as hell. I'm probably not gonna take it for now. And Berserker stance. Oh shit. An aggressive again, work in progress, an aggressive combat state that increases the damage of your auto attacks by 5% and reduces the effectiveness of fear, sap, and incapacitate effects on you by 15%. Interesting. So just 5% flat out increase. Okay. And here we have intervene. I've jumped on rallying cry out of the order. Now I'm gonna go line by line. Fast footwork, movement speed increased by 5%. All right. Intervene, run at high speed toward an ally, intercepting all melee and ranged attacks against them for 6 seconds while they remain within 10 yards. So even if you are Arms Warrior, you can have intervene. So more mobility, and I guess you can get it in PvP as well, which is cool. It doesn't require, at least it doesn't say here that it requires defensive stance, but even if it does, still interesting. 30 seconds cooldown. Berserker Rage, go Berserker, removing and granting immunity to fear, sap, and incapacitate effects for 6 seconds. Again, the old skill, and pretty good skill as well. Increases leech by 5%, even for arms. Ooh, interesting. War Machine, your attacks generate 10% more rage. Killing an enemy instantly generates 10 rage and increases your movement speed by 30% for 8 seconds. So that's one of the old talents. And it costs only 1 point. And it's good for generally for the open world activities where you need more rage you need faster generated rage in order to kill things faster. Then you get your movement speed increase boost. You go and farm new target like that. Choose one. Okay, you can choose either Berserk and Shout. Go Berserk, removing and granting immunity to Fear Sap. Wait a second. One more. There was Berserker Rage, Fear Sap, and Incapacitate. Go Berserk, removing and granting immunity to Fear Sap and Incapacitate effects for 6 seconds. Also removes fear effects from group members within 12 yards. Wow, sounds very cool. So you can remove fears from your party. And you have additional talent which probably doesn't share cooldown with this one, or does it? I hope it doesn't just upgrades the Berserker Rage itself. And Piercing Howl snares all enemies within 12 yards, reducing their movement speed by 70%. So the second one you've had always. And Berserker Shout is, at least in my experience, is the new stuff, which sounds pretty cool. And I hope it doesn't requires Warrior, doesn't says that it changes or does something with Berserker Rage. Okay, interesting. Spell Reflection, reduce magical damage you take by 20% for 5 seconds. Also raise your shield or weapon, reflecting the first spell cast on you. Pretty cool as well. Choose one. Inspiring Presence. Rallying Cry's duration and health granted are increased by 25%, so it's an increase for this thing. Or Second Wind restores 6% health every 1 second when you have not taken damage for 5 seconds. Well, that's just some passive regeneration out of combat. Impending Victory replaces Victory Rush. So it says here if it replaces stuff, which means that Berserker Shout doesn't. Instantly attack the target, causing 50% of damage and healing you for 30% of your maximum health, 25-second cooldown, costs 10 rage. Killing an enemy that yields experience or honor resets the cooldown of Impending Victory and makes it cost no rage. So it's just a better Victory Rush, which you can use in combat and heal yourself for 30% of your maximum health. Not bad. Now, okay, let's take something here like this and Berserker Shout here, and probably this one. Yeah, new row or line, I guess. Cooldown of Overpower reduced by 1 second, and cooldown of Pummel reduced by 0.5 second. All right, Heroic Leap. Oh, Heroic Leap, of course. That's a no-brainer. It definitely causes the target enemy Intimidating Shout, causes the target enemy to cover in fear and up to 5 additional enemies within 8 yards to flee. Targets are disoriented. So that's our skill that we currently have. Requires Warrior, causes the target enemy and up to 5. Yeah. Thunderclap. Bless all enemies within 8 yards. For some damage and reduces their movement speed by 20%. Deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. That's for Arms and Fury. Blasts all enemies within 8 yards for the same amount of attack power, physical damage, and reduces their movement speed by 20%. Deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. So descriptions are identical. But I guess it's just to... 30 rage for some AoE. We need to probably compare the damages to other skills that we have in Specialized 3. Furious Blows. Increased auto attack speed by 5. Let's get everything here. And... Cacophonous Roar. Intimidating Shout can withstand 200% more damage before breaking. And Intimidating Shout, Menace. Intimidating Shout will knock back all nearby enemies except your primary target and cause them all to cover in fear. Oh shit, that's cool. So now you can even knock back all. That's cool for PvP, 100%, and for PvE, well, of course it has uses in PvE as well, but man, it's very cool talent. That's very cool talent. Stormbolt. That's our stun for 4 seconds, pain and gain. When you take any damage, heal for 4% of your maximum health. This can only occur once every 10 seconds. So that's one of the talents of yours. That's one of the conduit talents from the Shadowlands, if I'm not mistaken. And here you probably, man, stuns are very important. Stuns are cool. Maybe for something like raid encounters you wouldn't take a stun. Yeah, well, both things are great. Both skills are pretty cool. Overwhelming Rage. Your maximum rage is increased by 30. Interesting. Wow. It's well, you're probably dumping your rage as fast as you can in most situations, but it's still pretty interesting that we have this option. Choose one. Titanic Throw throws your weapon at the enemy, causing physical damage to it, and 5 nearby enemies, generates high threat. So it's like AoE taunt skill, maybe. Requires warrior protection. Yeah, that's AoE. Yeah, that's a distant AoE taunt. Barbaric Training requires warrior arms, only arms, so Fury doesn't have this talent. Slum and Whirlwind deal 40% more damage, but now cost 5 more rage. Well, pretty cool. You can slow down your rotation a little bit more with this talent. If requires warrior, if Whirlwind, Protection or Revenge hits 3 or more enemies, it hits with them 1 additional time for 15% more damage. So you can use Whirlwind in a protection stance, and it will actually be, maybe it will deal pretty good damage. Cool. Choose one. We went too far. Now, Wreck and Throw hits hurl your weapon, and ignoring armor deals up to demolition 1500% increased damage to absorbed shield. Ignoring armor, but it is demolition means that it breaks immunities. I can't really remember. Maybe it is, maybe it doesn't. Shattering Throw. Oh, removing any magical immunities. No, that was Shattering Throw. Wait, what's the difference between them? Wreck and Throw. So attack power 1 and versatility. All right, and there's the same damage. Increased damage to shields, 45-second cooldown, and 3-minute cooldown with 1.5-second cast. So Wreck and Throw is some kind of a just DPS addition to you, and something that will help you damage shields, whereas Shattering Throw is definitely more of a PvP talent for destroying magical immunities from paladins and stuff. Crushing Force. Slam deals an additional 30% damage and has 7.5 increased critical strike. Ooh, 60% more, 60%, additional 60% damage, yeah. Concussive Blows. Cooldown of Pummel reduced by 1 second. Successfully interrupting an enemy increases the damage you deal against them by 5%. So the second part is Is it again from the conduits or just something? There are definitely some conduits that increase your damage dealt to the enemies. Or is that a talent of the soulbinds? Maybe that's someone's soulbind talent. Cool. Flooding Berserk, Rampage, Mortal Strike, Cleave and Revenge have a Rampage. Mortal Strike, Cleave, and Revenge have a 20% chance to immediately refund 20% of the rage spent. So, Rage Gainer proc chance 20%, 5.5 second cooldown. Bounding Stride reduces the cooldown on Heroic Leap by 15%. Okay, so that's our old talent. And placeholder talent not yet implemented. Yeah, reduced cooldown on Heroic Leap is very cool because it gives you so much extra mobility and it gives you run speed, which is crucial in PvE. It's very cool and crucial in PvP. I don't really know what other talents you can give us here for us not to take the Heroic Leap upgrade. Blood and Thunder increases the damage of Thunderclap by 10%, and whenever you Thunderclap a target affected by your rend, you will also affect 5 nearby target with rend. Wait. Whenever you Thunderclap a target affected by your rend, you also affect 5 nearby target with rend. So you affect 5 nearby targets with rend. So you're spreading your rend from the main target to all other targets. If that is so, that means it's very cool. Thunderclap's radius is increased by 50% and it reduces movement speed by an additional 10%. So second one is for protection, yes, and first one is definitely for arms. If you can weave the Thunderclaps into your rotation, it will probably be pretty good to ramp up your AoE damage. Where is the rend, by the way? Is this rend? This is the rend. Oh, but wait, rend is not your mastery bleeding, right? That you're getting on your target from your strikes. Rend is just a standalone thing. Once the target causing 32% of attack power physical damage instantly, and additionally 115 of attack power bleed damage over 15 seconds. So it's not bad, and it's definitely additional DPS, but still it all depends on numbers, and I will probably wouldn't look at all the numbers because I'm not too good at the game itself. Of course I can give you my opinions about stuff that I'm seeing here, but I'm not the expert on that stuff, and for me it's just, oh wow, they gave us this talent, cool, maybe we will use Thunderclap, etc., stuff like that. You gain strength equal to 3.5% of your armor value. That's very cool because sometimes in the past you had this talent and there was other numbers of the strength of the stats given to you that was equal to your armor. Now, as in the game, all your armor value is very controlled, and it's always the same values from the items, and it depends only on your item level. I guess it's cool. It's a cool talent, but it's just a mathematical. There's no really choice for you to take the armor with better armor values or to take other armor with lesser value, with lesser armor values. Compare them, look at the main stats that they have, and decide which one is better with your talent. But it still can be it just can be good. A passive talent for you to have that will just increase your overall damage, maybe more than any other talent in the tree itself, which is cool. Armor to the teeth, and it reminds you of a classic vibes of classic talent vibes that was in the past in the game. Increases the maximum number of charges on charge by 1 and reduces its cooldown by 3 seconds. Double time, still our basic talent that we have right now. Sudden Death. Your attacks have a chance to make your next execute cost no rage, be usable at any targets regardless of their health, and deal damage as if you spent 40 range. Against approximately 1.7 procs per minute. So something like 35 40 seconds cooldown. You can calculate it. And I don't really know if all these approximated values were known before. It's cool that they are writing it down now in the talents. Still, our old talent, nothing new here. Increases haste by 1.5% and your auto attack speed by 2.5%. So more rage again, more haste, together with furious blows. Maybe you may be an auto attack machine. Increases your armor by 15%. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. The way that you can boost your talent by taking other talents that increase your mana and therefore not taking some other stuff that gives you direct damage or crit or other stuff. That's the thing that you can really play with, yeah. So it's way more meaningful choice right now than I thought it would be. Maybe some people will forget about some utility and go with more armor, more damage, more strength, more passives. Increases stamina by 10% and avoidance by 2%. Stamina by 10%? Ooh. 20% stamina? No, 10% and 4% avoidance. Okay. Increases your damage dealt when using two-handed weapons by 5%. So that's only for arms talent. Okay. And again, only for arms talent, increases crit chance by 1.5 and increases the critical strike damage of overpower by 2.5. So that's how much talents you can get. And that's probably somewhere close to either third or half of the talents, realistically. I guess it's not hard to calculate the number of talents itself, but yeah, it's probably somewhere close to the half that you can get, or maybe even a little bit more. That's definitely not third. Okay, let's read all the others. Avatar. Transforming into a Colossus for 20 seconds, causing you to deal 20% increased damage and removing all roots and snares. That's the talent that we have currently as well. Shockwave sends a wave of force in frontal cone, causing damage and stunning all enemies within 10 yards. It's very interesting that you have Shockwave on arms. Currently on arms, man, I've played Warrior far too long ago to know do we have Shockwave on the arms right now, but still pretty cool. Shockwave it is very known skill from the past again. AoE stun and stuff for protection warriors. But it's just good, I guess. Maybe it's better than good. Better immunity. Restores 20% health instantly and removes all diseases, poisons, curses, and bleeds affecting you. 3 minutes cooldown. And 20% health. With impending victory being 30% of your maximum health. Having 25 seconds cooldown and only 10 rage points, but you need your target to be close to attack in order to attack it, and it of course doesn't takes out all the bleeds, curses, poisons, and diseases. Well, you definitely need to know what poisons, diseases, curses, and all other stuff like that you can get from the bosses in the game, in the Dragonflight itself, to know if this talent is worth it or not. Spear of Bastion. Oh, so that's our Kyrian ability. Throw a spear at the target location, dealing 165% of attack damage, of attack power, physical damage instantly, and an additional 150 damage over 4 seconds. Deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. Enemies hit are chained to the spear's location for the duration. Yeah, Spear of Bastion is very, very cool skill. It generates rage. It doesn't have too much of a cooldown, 1.5 minutes. sounds very cool. Wait a second. Let's see. Let's see. Can I get myself out of some talents like that? Yeah, probably. Okay, let's go with this one. This one. I can't locate this talent. Oh, I don't have enough talents. Probably, right? Yeah, probably. And now, yeah. Which means you have 10 more talents. You can go like this. You can go like this, this. Oh yeah. And there is. So you can take most of them, but you can't buff all of them, even if you are taking most of the actives. Sounds logical. So there are these, 8 required, 20 required thresholds. Thunderous Roar, work in progress. Roar explosively in 16-yard frontal cone, causing some damage, big damage, and causing enemies to bleed. Physical damage for over 8 seconds. Was it bleed before, or was it slowing enemies? And not in frontal cone, but around you. I'm gonna check this sometimes later by myself. Increases the duration of Thunderous Roar bleed, and increases the damage of your bleed effects by 20%. Just all bleed effects. Holy shit, that's good. Placeholder talent, great. Elysian Might. Spear of Bastion's duration is increased by 4% while you remain within Spear of Bastion's area of critical area. Your critical strike damage is increased by 20. Crit multiplier 25%. Cool. Spear of Bastion's instant damage increased by 30%, and its rage generation is increased by 30%. Instant damage increase. That's probably something for PvP. In order to burst down your target, probably wouldn't really take this talent for like maybe mythic for big pools, but definitely not raiding. Shockwave deals 350% increased damage and will always deal critical strike damage. Oh, so much more damage, but 20% of attack power, which means it's gonna be 60-70% of attack power. Okay, with 40-second cooldown, well, that's better. Increases the range of Shockwave by 6 yards, and when Shockwave strikes at least 3 targets, its cooldown is reduced by 15%. So yeah, if you want to play with some of these talents, you probably want to max them out, and you can you can either max them out. You can either max 1 out and a half, or get 1, or get 2, or get 3 to not maxed out. Yeah, so that's probably the choice is gonna be somewhat like this. Does it cost you more? No, just one talent point. Okay, and what's with the avatar? Memory of a Tormented Blade Master. Activating Avatar of Blade Storm casts the other at reduced effectiveness. Activating Avatar of Blade Storm. That's just Avatar. Or Blade Storm casts the other at reduced effectiveness. Ah, fuck. Okay, I guess we definitely had something similar to this in our old talents. Activating Avatar or Thunderous Roar. Casts Recklessness at reduced effectiveness. Pretty interesting as well. For the DPS Windowses, okay, let's go with some talents here.